Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in for today's episode, the third episode of SpitteN-Pickz, where I'll be giving you my best picks and what I think today's best NHL plays are. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're going to start with the later game, New Jersey going into the San Jose Sharks, into the Shark Tank, where Jersey's bringing a record of 29, 25, and 3, and a road record of 15, 10, and 2 into the Shark Tank, where they are only 9, 16, 0, and 2 overtime wins. The Sharks are absolutely awful this year, with an overall record of 15, 36, 1, and 4. They are below 500 on the puck line. They're 4, 5, and 1 in their last 10. New Jersey's not much better in their last 10 at 4, 5, 1, and 0. But New Jersey is fighting for a playoff spot where the Sharks just aren't. At this point, the Sharks are pretty much out of it. They've been out of it for a while. I think everyone thought that this Jersey lineup was going to be top contenders, including myself. But that being said, I still like New Jersey, just not enough to take them on the money line. So I'll lay the puck and a half and at minus 115. So my play for that game is New Jersey minus the puck and a half. Going to the second game, where Dallas will be going into Colorado, and Dallas and Colorado are both two top teams. Dallas with a record of 35, 16, 7, and 2 on the puck line, 22 and 38 on the road, 14 and 17 against the puck line. Even at home, they're 18. On the Avalanche at home are 17 and 11 to the puck line. So there's a big difference there. Again, the Avalanche, their overall home record is 22 and 6, which is one of the best home records in the NHL right now. Dallas is sort of struggling. Jake Ottinger looked real good coming out of the All-Star break. Hasn't looked so good of late. Colorado seems to get it going one night, 2 nights, and then falls back. But I look for them to respond at home where they play their best hockey. I like them on the money line at minus 135. And I like the over in this game. If you can get the line at over 6, I like the over in this game also. I might even look to do a small sprinkle in a same game parlay with Colorado and the over. And if I were going to do that, I would buy the over down to 5.5, just to play it safe. The next game that I want to talk about is the Pittsburgh Penguins going into Vancouver. The Canucks of late really aren't so great. 4, 5, and 1 in their last 10. They are one of the better teams against the puck line with an overall record of 36 and 24. They are 18 and 9 against the puck line at home. And at home, they are 25 and 2 and 0 as their regular record. Again, they are probably the second best team at home next to the Colorado Avalanche that we just spoke about. Pittsburgh doesn't play its best hockey on the road at 15 and 11 again on the puck line. Their regular record is 29 and 26, just above 500 when they're on the road. And their regular record, well, not much better at 11 and 11 road record. So they're just 500 on the road. Again, I like Vancouver, but minus 154 is right around that range where I have a hard time taking the money line. If you can get it at minus 140 or better, I like Vancouver on the money line. If you can't get it that way, I like Vancouver in regulation somewhere around plus 110, plus 115. I've seen it at on certain books, so check that out. And another game where I might even look for a player prop to like JT Miller or Quinn Hughes, all the Elias Pettersson. These guys are all like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I think JT Miller is something like 9 out of 10 out of the last 10 games, grabbing a point. So I might even look to take JT Miller and the Vancouver Canucks in a same game 2-play parlay to drive that price to a plus money price. All options. If you have any questions ever, just leave it in the comments, and I'll get right back to you on what I think is your best move. Again, we didn't get off to a great start, but looking to bounce back tonight on this big Tuesday night slate. And it's the third episode. Let's hope it's the third one's the charm. So, okay. Back to business. We got St. Louis going into Winnipeg, and Winnipeg was an extremely tough team. They did fall into a little bit of a slump. St. Louis was playing really good hockey, really strong, but they only went 5-5 in their last 10. Winnipeg has picked it up, going 6-4 in their last 10. They are one of the better teams on the puck line at 32-24, 17-12 on the puck line at home. Their overall record is 36-15, 4-1. On the puck line, they're 27-2-0 at home. So again, another strong team, even strong on the puck line, and they are the superior team to St. Louis, I believe. St. Louis is one of those teams that are teetering for a playoff spot, depending on how things shake out at the end of the season. But give me Winnipeg, and give me Winnipeg in regulation, and I wouldn't even mind taking Winnipeg and the under in the same game parlay. I know it's risky, but or another option, taking Gabriel Velarde and the Winnipeg Jets, or Scheifele is another one. Connor's another one. All these guys are averaging a point a game, or 70% to 80% over the last 10 games. So I like any one of them for a point. I wouldn't mind grabbing any one of them on a straight bet for a point. So you could check that out. I don't know, again, if you guys are just looking for winners, losers on the money lines, or if you leave it in the comments, I'll definitely direct my attention to it. Okay, another game I paid a lot of attention to is Carolina going to Minnesota. Even though Minnesota's playing much better in the last 10, going 7-2-1-0 against the puck line, they're 30-28, just about 500. But they are below 500 at home on the puck line, going 13-16, and their overall record is 14-11 at home. So they're a little better home than on the road. Their overall record is 28-24, 4-2. Another team that's teetering on a playoff spot, but I think Carolina knows that they have to start winning. They've dropped their last couple games, and to teams that I think they wanted to beat, teams that are above 500 that they'll probably either see in the playoffs or will be battling against in the playoffs. And with that 34-18-2 record and that 15-11 road record, and on the puck line, they're not so great at 24 losses, 34 wins, and 12-16 on the road against the spread. I still like Carolina. Give me Carolina at -130 on the money line. Another matchup that I looked at was Vegas going to Toronto. Toronto's playing good hockey in their last 10 games, going 8-2-0. They've picked up, especially when playing opponents they should be beating. They are actually beating them. They're not having those letdowns they were in the beginning of the season. They've cleaned their record up to a 33-16-7. They got probably the best goal scorer this season in Austin Matthews. And with Mitch Marner and Nylander and that team getting healthy and starting to really hit its stride against a struggling Vegas Knights team who doesn't play its best hockey on the road, they're 4-5-0 and 1 overtime win. So they're 500 in their last 10, 32-19. They have a road record on the puck line. They're 14-14, so exactly 500, and their regular record is 13-10, 3-2 overtime wins. So 3 overtime losses and 2 overtime wins. So to me, they're below 500 on the road. Not much more to say. I like Toronto, just not at -172, and I'm not real big on giving a puck and a half to the defending Vegas Knights. But what I will say, and I won't take the Toronto Maple Leafs in regulation because they're another team like the Islanders that are prone to going to overtime. So I like Toronto and the over 6 in a same game parlay. You don't have to bet every game. I try to give you guys my opinion on as many games as I can, or as many games as I find angles on, but you do not have to bet every game. You do not have to bet every play I give out. These are just suggestions, and go with what you think is best. Again, we're going to hop right into Tampa Bay, going to Philadelphia, another 2 teams that are trying to get into the playoffs at 32-23 and 5 for Tampa Bay, and a weak road record at 14-15. Tampa Bay is on the road, and they're even worse on the puck line at 14-17 on the road. Home, Philadelphia is 14-13, 1-1, and against the puck line, they're 13-16. In their last 10, they're 5-4, 1-0. So they're about even in their last 10. I would normally like to take Philadelphia at home, but they're missing Travis Konechny. They're missing Jamie Drysdale. Erston's been playing a lot of goaltending since Carter Hart's out with his personal issues. Again, don't have to bet every game. If I had to lean one way or the other, it would be Philadelphia plus the money at home. So give me Philadelphia at home, and I definitely like the under in this game at under 6.5. In fact, that under 6.5 is probably one of my more favorite plays. And on to the next game. Buffalo visiting Florida, my new home state, and the newest Florida Panther fan, with a record of 38-16 and 3-1, 18-8, 2-0 at home. Against the puck line, they have a winning puck line record at 30-28 against the Buffalo Sabre team that's, again, probably not going to make the playoffs. If they do, it'll be by the skin of their teeth. One thing that's very noticeable in this game is the goaltending. Bubs for Florida has played outstanding, giving up a goal, 1.54 goals in the last 10. And Luka Pekkanen, under 2 goals in the last 10. So this is going to be a tight matchup, I believe. I think Florida is going to play tight defensively with Matthew Tkachuk out. Or else, for me, this would be an easy Florida regulation. Maybe Tkachuk with a point for Florida. Barkov is a 1.5 for over-under, so I don't really like jumping on Alexander Barkov for points, especially not in same-game parlays. But, Reinhart's on fire. Varangi's on fire. Montour's been good of late. I expect Florida to play a gritty defensive game, as always. Good goaltending. And I expect Buffalo, that big, solid core that they have, even though they do have superstars in Tage Thompson and Jeff Skinner and Rasmus Dahlin, I see them playing more of a close to the vest game, and I like the under 6.5 here. I do lean Florida, but I would never lay -225 or -245. So again, if I had to pick, it'd be Florida easily on the money line. Talk about laying the puck and a half. Again, Florida is only 10-18 against the puck line at home. And, 10-18 on the puck line at home. They're 18-18 at home, but on the puck line, they're 10-18. So they don't cover much when it's home. So, and the last matchup I'm going to get into is Washington at Detroit. Detroit's playing its much better hockey of late. Patrick Kane got that crazy ovation in Chicago the other night. He played well. Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Larkin, all these guys are playing well. The whole team's playing well as a whole. They're 17, 8, and 5 at home. And surprisingly, they're 18 and 12 at home on the puck line. So you can guess where I'm going with this. I think Detroit continues playing better hockey. I think they play a good, strong game at home. I like Detroit either both on the money line, if it's not too rich for your blood, at minus 165, or I like them at the minus puck and a half. I could see Washington having a letdown after that big victory over Ottawa the other night. But thanks for tuning in, and I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope some of this information I bring to you helps. And please like and subscribe. It really helps. And check back in for tomorrow. Wish you the best of luck, and go get them.